beautiful downtown Sacramento, it's time for Beach Blanket Fort Bingo.
Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. Fort Bingo. Spazzy's got a show when you really want to know what's going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. Fort Bingo. Art and music, golden blue, and your favorite comics too. Grab a spot and settle in, 'cause it's high time we begin. Beach Blanket Fort Bingo Podcast. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember those Springfield nights. Remember those Springfield.
Hello and welcome to Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. I'm your host, Steve Schnee. My regular co-host, Ronnie Barnett, is currently on assignment. On this very special episode, we've got punk rock royalty. Both Matt Dangerfield and Casino Steel are members of the British punk band The Boys, who made their debut 50 years ago and have released a series of albums that were equally infused with their classic love of rock and roll and the energy of punk rock. Alongside band members Honest John Plain, Kid Reed, and Jack Black, The Boys' singles and albums have influenced several generations of punk rock fans and musicians. And now in 2026, they are reissuing an expanded edition of their 2014 reunion album called Punk Rock Menopause and playing their first Canadian dates in March. It is an honor to have them visit us here at the Blanket Fort. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Dangerfield and Casino Steel. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're just about ready to play a series of dates in Canada to promote this. Now, is this your first time in North America?
Matt?
No. I mean, we've been in America before, like in New York and in Texas.
You played Texas.
Yeah, sure. But they were both brief, you know.
Yeah.
We've been to Canada once before for a festival.
So these are the first sort of headline dates for you guys over
Yeah,
there.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
The
Now,
festival was in Quebec, wasn't it?
In Quebec before, yeah. French-speaking bit.
Yeah.
was this series of dates something that's been in the planning stages for a while, or was it just an opportunity that came out of the blue?
It came out of the blue, yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, the guy, Bob Muck, I think his name is, he just contacted us, you know, and, he was really keen, so we thought, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, to coincide with these gigs, we've got, as I mentioned and showed before, the expanded edition of Punk Rock Menopause, which I don't think was originally released over here in America. In fact, I don't remember any of the original Boys albums being initially released when they first came out over here. Is it frustrating to have a fan base and most of your material was only available on import?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, we wouldn't know really, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but we've collected fans all over the world, but somehow they've got to hear of us. You know, so.
Yeah, exactly.
We must have something out in the States.
Well,
I thought we had.
I think you guys, I think the albums were later reissued by Tang.
Yeah.
That was one deal, yeah.
Yeah. So, but up until then, they were always in the import bins.
Yeah.
Now, you've added 4 tracks to the album, including single versions of I'm a Believer, which is not to be confused with the Monkey song, an organ grinder, plus an acoustic version of I'm a Believer, and the non-album track, There Ain't No Just One Beer, all of which are great additions to the track list. In some ways, do you feel that this original release was overlooked and this is actually giving it a new lease on life?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is in yours neck of the woods. Yeah.
Yeah, over here. Well, who's all in the Boys right now?
Yeah, we've got 3 Swedes. You know, the drummer's Swedish. Yeah, and guitarist Chips, the bassist Kent.
They both in a band called Sater.
Who are massive in Sweden.
And Martin, our drummer, he was from a band called Backstreet Girls. They're also massive over there.
No matter what you say, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter what you do, it's all the same 'cause I don't care about you. It's my first time. Please be kind. I'm sick to death of everything you do. And if I'm gonna have a puke, you picture that fucking on you. I'm gonna be sick on you. Remember those Springfield nights. Remember those Springfield vibes.
He swerved to miss it. I swerved to miss him. As I came off my bike, I saw him grin.
Alongside the reissue of that is also this great compilation, which is the singles collection on the Captain Oi label. All I can tell you is that Mark at Captain Oi has been a big supporter and has helped to maintain your legacy because of the reissues that he does. Did you have any input in regards to this compilation at all?
Yeah, we had input, yeah. Because we had to convince Fire Records, who own our first two albums, to get involved in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm
'cause
very
there's
proud of it because I think Jared has done a great job.
But this collection, like I say, it even goes up to the punk rock menopause, which I think is going to be great to introduce those fans to the later stuff if they're not familiar with it. The Boys, I've always felt, were a great albums band just as much as they were a great singles band. When you went to the studio, were there times where you finished a track and you said, that's going to be a single? Or did you finish the album and sort of leave that up to other people to choose?
No, we usually reckon what's going to be the best single, the first single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we usually only recorded singles because every song was a single to us.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now, you both came from bands that are still talked about but rarely heard, Hollywood Brats and London SS. Did both of these bands exist well before the punk movement came along?
Well, the Brats was 1972.
So
Okay.
they existed before,
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the British punk thing.
Right. Was leaving those bands and forming the Boys a direct response to the burgeoning punk movement, or did you not even consider yourself a punk band at first?
Well, I'm not sure what Cass and Andrew were from the thoughts, but yeah, I was into punk. I wanted to be a punk band, but they had this bit of we've been there and done that.
Yeah,
attitude.
Yeah, but it was also, we didn't know what punk rock was until about 76,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of when it really blew over, even though a lot of people say 77. If you look back at a lot of people's history, there was a lot of bands forming in 76.
Yeah.
And I need my fix, so I'm heading to a punk rock gig. And tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1976. Yes, tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1976.
Were there any songs from, let's say, Hollywood Brats or London SS that made it into the Boys' early live sets or on the first album or two?
Yeah, the two Bratz numbers, "Sick on You" and "Tumble with Me."
Wow.
Yeah, because those I remember because when we were, when we were starting the Boys, we took those as our basis
Mm-hmm.
and worked from there.
You guys are a great rock and roll band, or great melodic rock and roll band, but infused with the power and energy of punk. Does it offend you, like, if I refer to you as a pop band?
No.
Fine.
Some of the greatest music that came from that era is highly melodic, and you can grab a Boys album and out of 13 songs find 27 great hooks, whether it's the chorus, whether it's a guitar line, whether it's a keyboard line. I think that's always been the band's strength, is the songwriting. It always goes back to songwriting. With the Boys, that's really, in my opinion, what it's all about.
I think it's because when punk started, the bands were really angry, and everything was angry. But
Yeah.
we have humor.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
We had fun.
Yes. I mean, that's really, really obvious. I mean, I think a lot of people lose the fact, like here in America, when they started advertising punk rock, it was like, oh, this is just a reaction to prog rock and singer-songwriters and disco. Whereas in England, it really wasn't, it wasn't born from that. Wasn't it a reaction to it was like the youth's reaction to the government, right?
I wouldn't say that. I think we all grew up listening to the 60s,
Yeah.
and rock and roll. Like our parents had a rock and roll collection.
Yes.
Going way back. So we grew up with rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a reaction against the prog rock. That's for sure. Because we as musicians didn't have a chance of getting into a prog rock band, because we weren't, technically proficient enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
which we thought was just boring, But so yeah, I mean, it was.
I still hate prog rock.
Yeah, so do I.
But you released some great albums during your run. You know, you've got the self-titled 77 alternative chart busters, and I'll show the audience here. And you know, and then you've got, this might be my favorite today, but most of the days it's I don't know, To Hell with the Boys, or and then of course, as I just mentioned, To Hell with the Boys and Boys Only. When the band split, did you feel that you'd completed what you set out to do?
Are you asking Cass that?
I'm asking both.
All right. Well, no, well, I didn't split the band.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Okay, well, sorry. Maybe I'll cut that out.
Well, I think it was, we weren't getting anywhere actually after the fourth album. So, but I had quite a bit of success in Scandinavia with Gary Holton.
Hmm.
So, for my sake, I mean, we had the 6 years break until we started again in '89. Oh, was it '89? Was it '99?
2000.
Well,
Well, when we reformed for Japan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
But
that was 2000.
I think you guys did get together for the Power Cut album.
For the Power Cut.
Yeah.
No. Oh,
No,
yeah.
sir.
So, but yeah, we were doing that on the side.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, and that was with the gentleman from the band right behind you,
Yes,
Matt.
they taught nose, and you know.
Yeah, exactly. What inspired you guys to get back together? Was it an offer to tour?
It was I would used to get a lot of offers to play like Italian punk rock festivals and things.
Hmm.
No, so no thanks, no thanks, no. But we were suddenly selling a lot of records. Yeah, I think it was a BBC record of us that was selling like loads and loads of copies in Japan.
Uh-huh.
And there was a big Japanese band that covered 2 of our songs.
Oh, wow.
Had a hit with them, and so we were invited to come over to Japan, and we'd never been to Japan, so I thought, well, I think we've got to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it was so we had such a good time that we carried on from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember we sort of like when we finished our first gig in Tokyo, and to a great audience, and the promoter said, "Oh, there's some people outside who want autographs."
Mhm.
Go, okay, we'll go and sign. And there was like a queue going round the corner. Like it must have been a couple of hundred people,
Yeah.
And there was even one guy who said, "Oh, please, will you kiss my girlfriend?" And she was very good looking, so I reluctantly gave her a kiss, to make him happy. But I mean, like that. So that was a surprise for us, because suddenly we were, we never really had a reaction like that before.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
great.
Were you gonna say something, Casino?
Yeah, no, I say it was great. I mean, I really loved Japan.
Yeah. I know that Japan supports bands all the time. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really, really. I mean, once you've made it in Japan, it's like they never forget you.
Yeah, we could have gone back again now, but in those days we could travel without a work permit.
Oh, yeah,
But you can't do that anymore, so it's become really difficult unless you're very, very big.
right, right. Well, it took you from, you said that was the year 2000.
Mhm.
Now I know that both of you were busy, after the boys and before you got back together. Was there ever a time, when you'd be working on other projects or sitting at home writing a song and you'd think like, oh, this would be perfect for the boys, and sort of set it aside?
Yeah.
No, I personally saw songwriting as just whoever, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
There wasn't a boy specific.
right. Well, it took 14 years after that to release Punk Rock Menopause, which is the brand new album. Brand new album then, 2014. What inspired you to finally put that record out?
I suppose I was the most reluctant to do that album, because I didn't want to do it unless I could be sure that it'd be because of the albums we'd done before.
Right.
So we went to, like a studio in France, booked it for a week. We had no songs written, not really. We had a few ideas. So first day we got together just with guitars and mucking around, and at the end of the day, I think we had 3 songs.
Wow.
So, which were good as well. And
yeah.
Then I realized, I think this is going to work.
Yeah. Now, are you reluctant to do any more songwriting for a future Boys record?
No, we are working on a new record already.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That one coming out in autumn.
Wow. So September, which will, I guess, be around that time, you're playing the LA Punk Invasion Festival. And I guess that's advertised as your first LA date?
Yes.
That's incredible. Will you play any warm-up dates? Now, I know contracts always say, for festivals, we have to, you can only play within a certain, radius, stuff like that. But not if you play under the band name The Yobs.
But it's not Christmas.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you want to, play some California dates, especially in Orange County.
Yeah.
Hint, hint. No.
I mean, you probably like songs about snow and things you've never seen.
Is there a Boys track that you feel might serve as a perfect gateway track to your career for a new listener? A song that sort of encapsulates what the Boys were and are all about. For me, if I want to introduce somebody to you guys, I'm going to either use TCP, Terminal Love, or Organ Grinder.
Okay.
Is there a song that you feel best represents where you're coming from?
No, I think probably the one that stands out for me is TCP.
Mm-hmm.
Your 3, So otherwise, I don't know. There's such a lot to pick from. I think.
Yeah.
But TCP is catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Matt, for you, it should be Brickfield Nights.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean,
Your hometown and everything. I think that's perfect.
But I wrote the lyrics for TCP anyway.
Well, we should actually just go down and just name all the Boys tracks, because you guys really have an incredible catalog. I know that it's small compared to some of the other bands out there. It's what, 4 times the amount of stuff that the Sex Pistols put out, or 5 times. But it's an incredible body of work that I believe that more people need to hear. And you've got a heck of a fan base, a lot of supporters. And I mean, I'm grateful for you guys for providing the music for the soundtrack of my life.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I would like to thank you both for that. Send you good luck on the Canadian gigs and your forthcoming LA gigs as well, or gig. And I'm also looking forward to new music. But most of all, thank you for the time that you've given me. Well, that's it for us here on Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. I want to thank Matt Dangerfield and Casino Steel for being 2 of the finest punk rockers alive. And I look forward to hearing them. And then maybe in LA in September, I can sneak in and have all my CDs autographed. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Cheers.